Now, the Chicago Bears right now are at $33 million after the retirement of, Drew Dahlman, after moving on from Tremaine Edmonds, DJ Moore trade. So they're at $33 million right now. In a good spot, you can make some moves, but there's more that you can do with the cap, whether it's restructuring contracts or whether it's, cutting some players too as well. That can also help the cap further and help you be more flexible and help you make more moves. So in today's video, I'm going to break down some other moves that the Bears can make to help them with their cap situation. First one, cut Roschon Johnson. I know you only saved 1.2 mil, but this is a guy that shouldn't be on the team no more. No offense to him. I think just his value is not there no more. You had him as healthy scratches last season when he was healthy, and he's had some issues staying healthy. I think he could benefit from a new situation. This running back room, it could be better. You could add another piece in the draft, a Mike Washington, Noah Whittington, running back from Oregon. You can make other moves that, add more value to this running back room after Swift and after Monangai if you keep Swift. So I think that's a no-brainer. Moving on from him makes too much sense. Definitely deserves a change of scenery. The next guy I have is Kyron Amegaji. I think you should cut him as well. You save 1.1 million. And this is somebody that was a project. He came into the Bears organization hurt and banged up already from his previous season. He had good traits, good run blocker, but then the previous coaching staff, I think, did him a disservice. They, threw him out in the fire against the Minnesota Vikings, and he got bullied in pass protection. It was a bad debut. I think there's still some traits in him that could be salvaged. I think he could still be a good player, maybe in a change of scenery. Same with Roschon Johnson and stuff. But I think that's somebody that I think we should cut our losses from, move forward, let him go and develop somewhere else. So 1.1 million and 1.2 million from cutting Roschon Johnson and Kyron Amegaji. You save 2.3 million from that in total. And then DeAndre Swift. This is a suggestion. I like Swift. I'm cool with keeping him. But if the Bears want to save even more money, they could cut him, get $7 million. Now, Ben Johnson, he did some great things with DeAndre Swift this season, but he's moved on from DeAndre Swift before. He's found a better player at the running back position over Swift, and that was Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, those guys. So he's moved on from him before. Had a career this year, great season. I think if they cut him, going to the Chiefs with Eric Bieniemy, reuniting with him, that'd be a good destination for him. I think he would have another 1,000-yard season with the Chiefs and be a nice playmaker for them and Andy Reid. I'm all for keeping him, but just stating what's Ben Johnson's done in previous years, the Bears could go younger and cheaper and draft a running back. So cutting him saves $7 million. That now puts you at 9.3 million after those moves. Monangai had 783 yards rushing as a running back, had a 100-yard performance against the Bengals, dominant, had a great performance against the Eagles. Him and Swift both had 100 yards, but he showed he could be that lead guy. At sometimes he was the best back in that backfield. So I'd let Monangai get the keys. If you go that route, that's cool. Draft another running back to have another duo. In total, from those moves, you save 9.3 million. Now, trade Tyson Bagent. It's time for him to get a starting job. What I would do is I'd trade him to the Cardinals for either a third or fourth round pick. Good value there. That's a sweet spot for the draft. So you get a third or fourth round pick. I think that's good value for what he is right now, what Tyson Bagent is. And with teams being desperate, I don't know if they'll get a second for him. That could happen, but I don't think that's as realistic. So I think a third or fourth round pick is what you're going to get if you trade Bagent. And, allow him to grow in his career. Allow him to get that starting job. Great team player, great guy in the locker room, but I'm cool with Case Keenum being the backup. You save 3.75 million in that. Right now, we're roughly at just about 13 million. Now let's get to some restructuring contracts. Jalen Johnson, when you're restructuring contracts, you want these people to be there for the long term, past at least till 2027. Caleb Williams, I think he gets paid in 2028. That's his offseason where he's going to get a big bag. So a guy like Jalen Johnson, I'm okay with restructuring him because he's an all-pro corner. He's proven that. When he was healthy this season against the Rams, he was pretty damn good in the playoffs. Packers, we struggled a little bit, but once he got healthier, once his legs got under him, he got better and better. And I think a full season healthy with Al Harris, that's got me excited. So 2 years, I would want him on this team in 2027, still young, 27 years old this season. 6.9 million is how much the Bears would save if they restructure him. The next guy I would restructure is Kyler Gordon. I would want to see Kyler Gordon on this team in 2027 till his full extension is up. This is a player that I think will bounce back this next season. Another guy I want to see fully healthy with Al Harris. He's an impact player, playmaker. Immediately, we saw the impact of him in the Rams game. Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, these guys weren't as successful. And, Kyler Gordon was dangerous in zone. And he's a nice blitzer from the corner spot, nice tackler, great in coverage. So I like Kyler Gordon. When he's healthy, he's an elite guy and an impact player. So I like extending him. You save $6.1 million from extending him. Montez Sweat. People might not want Montez Sweat here for the long haul, but I think this is a good pass rusher. 10 sacks this season. This was a good season for him. Played really well in the Dennis Allen scheme. There were some games where he's dominant. He put together back-to-back multiple games together in a streak of having a sack. I want to see him make more of an impact, but maybe if we get a dominant pass rusher alongside of him, maybe a Trey Hendrickson, maybe another guy, draft 2, if we hit it out the park with an edge in the draft and we bolster this pass rush, we see him as a number 2 guy. I think he makes more of an impact and he's more dominant when he's not dealing with double teams and most of the tension. So I'd like to see him as a Bear in 2027. So I would restructure him $9.9 million if you do that. Joe Thuney is another guy, all pro, protector of the year, first season as a Bear. You save $7.6 million. So I expect him with the Bears for the long haul until like 2028, when it's time to pay Caleb. And hopefully we win a chip by then. But this is somebody that I want on the team as long as possible until he retires because he's that good. He could play for a while. Definitely think he's going to be there. Great player. One of our best players on our team. Save money, get flexibility. Love that. Cole Kmet, give him an extension. Cole Kmet is one of the more critical players on this team. The impact, the production went down, but the impact hasn't. We run a lot of 12 personnel, so it's critical we have another good tight end to complement Colston Loveland. Colston Loveland obviously is the better tight end now. Cole Kmet still, though, was great this season blocked his ass off, had the touchdown catch against the Rams. When Colston Loveland got hurt, Cole Kmet stepped up. One of those guys you want to keep as a Bear, his career. This is a guy from Chicago. He bleeds everything about the Bears. He embodies the culture of what we want this team to be. He still can be an impactful player in the receiving game, 400 yards at least. So I'm not mad at extending him. Want to see him with the Bears for the future, like what he did this season as a compliment to Loveland. Another guy you could restructure would be Jonah Jackson. You could potentially get $6.8 million, I think, if you restructure him. That's, if we're in a bad spot, we need more cap space for the draft too. So that's just another option down the road. And Darnell Wright definitely needs an extension. And I think Ryan Poles gets that done more towards after free agency and stuff. More towards after free agency. Maybe right before the draft or after the draft, but I think Darnell Wright's going to get locked down. I think that's Ryan Poles' maybe best pick other than Caleb. Making these moves brings the Bears cap space to just under $84 million. So this is exactly what the Bears need. You could get a Trey Hendrickson. You could get a safety, some linebackers. You could really attack some needs in free agency if you get that cap space to $83 million, like I just broke down. Let me know some moves that you want the Bears to make too. Get that cap space up. But I would want him to get an extension done with, Keenan Allen. I would want him to stay with the Chicago Bears for maybe 2 or 3 more years because he's coming off his best season last year with the Chargers.